Hello, and welcome to Innovation Lab, your go-to resource for all things biotech startups. Brought to you by the National Cancer Institute's Small Business Innovation Research, SBIR Development Center. Our podcast hosts interviews with successful entrepreneurs and provides resources for small businesses looking to take their cutting-edge cancer solutions from lab to market. I'm Billy Bozza, a program director at NCI SBIR, and today's host. Today, we'll dive into the Small Business Transition Grant, a funding opportunity designed to help early career scientists who participated in technology discovery during their academic work and are now ready to form a startup. I've invited fellow program director at NCI SBIR, Dr. Saroj Regmi, to provide information on the program. Saroj, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks a lot, Billy. Happy to be here.
Saroj, I think it would be super helpful for our audience if you could provide a little context about how the Small Business Transition Grant came to be, and what are some of the programmatic goals that NCI SBIR is hoping to meet with this funding mechanism.
Absolutely. So, Billy, I'm sure you're aware that our office thinks a lot about entrepreneurship, and we all constantly think about how we can bring cancer-focused innovation to market quicker, how we can support such innovations. And so a couple of years ago, when we did a survey with NCI-designated cancer centers, we found out that postdocs and early career scientists are the major drivers of entrepreneurship. They're the ones that are actually thinking about entrepreneurship, bringing their product, trying to bring their product to market. And so we realized that in order to successfully spin out NCI-funded technologies, things that we're really funding early on through R01s and different academic grants, being able to fund that from an academic setting to universities, we really need to think about the postdoc and early career scientists. We really need to be able to empower them. And so what that meant was we needed to create a new program where we could provide entrepreneurial training for these early career scientists. They needed mentorship as well. So we wanted to enable mentorship. And finally, we wanted to create a separate application pool for these guys so that they would be competitive in the SBIR application process. And so this program was born out of that discussion and need.
Great. So for our listeners who may be unfamiliar with this funding mechanism, can you explain how it works? And for those who are familiar, can you provide an update on some of the new features for the current solicitation?
Thanks for asking that question, Billy. So I'm really excited about this mechanism. You have to have early career scientists that have formed a company. They need to be within their 10 years of their PhD, but in order to apply for any SBIR STTR grants, company formation is required. So they need to have formed a company. And as I alluded to earlier, they need to have two mentors, someone who can guide them in regards to scientific guidance and someone who can also give them entrepreneurial advice. For the non-aficionados here, this mechanism kind of allows for two different types of application. A phase 1 STTR with a total budget of $400,000. And what that means is that the PI of the grant, again, which is a grad student who's graduating, a postdoc or an early career scientist, they can remain at the academic institute and apply. At least 40% of the work is now done at the startup, 30% at the institution, and there's flexibility in terms of the rest of the 30%. So that's one way. The other application that is allowed is a unique fast track mechanism where a PI can submit application for both the phase 1 and phase 2 of a project. This is sort of a 3 to 4 year grant with an award of up to $2.4 million. The first phase follows the same STTR phase 1 pathway and guidelines, but the second phase will require that the PI now is primarily employed by the small business or the startup. This is a change from last year. We allow STTR phase 1 only option along with this fast track mechanism, which we've had in place for a couple of years. The other change is in alignment with SBIR STTR requirements. Starting this year, we welcome application from international trainees that are in the US. Obviously, all the work needs to be performed in the US and all the collaboration needs to be US based, but they're eligible to apply. And what's been great about this program is that we've had other institutes within the NIH that have joined forces with us. So NIBIB, National Institute of Biomedical Imaging and Bioengineering, NAGRI, National Human Genome Research Institute, as well as NIMH, National Institute of Mental Health. They've partnered with us for this funding opportunity. And the other thing that I wanted to highlight is that, NCI is really involved in this funding opportunity. The review happens at NCI Division of Extramural Affairs. We provide entrepreneurial training for PIs with this fantastic a program called iCore, which is focused around customer discovery. And there are also a lot of other support that's available to our funded companies.
This sounds like a really unique opportunity for early stage biotech innovators. So, to confirm, who should be applying for this and at what stage in their career do they need to be?
Another good question. Yeah. So anybody who's thinking about entrepreneurship and is within 10 years of their PhD are welcome to apply. We definitely allow applications from individuals who have completed their masters, and we also allow applications from graduating PhD students, as well as postdocs. If you're a non-tenure track faculty, but within 10 years of your PhD, you're thinking about entrepreneurship, you're welcome to apply as well. But one thing to remember is that all SBIR SCTR grants are awarded to institutions, not individuals. So company formation is required in order for you to apply.
Perfect. So if I'm an early stage entrepreneur, a PhD student, a postdoc, and I'm interested in this funding mechanism, one, how do I know if I'm eligible? And two, what does the application process look like?
Sure. Yeah. So first and foremost, read the notice of funding opportunity. It's a long document, but all the critical pieces of information should be there. Definitely attend the Small Business Transition Grant webinar that's happening soon. It will be recorded and made available on the website as well. And if you have any other questions about eligibility, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any clarifying questions. And if need be, schedule a one-on-one as well. In terms of the application process, it's going to be very similar to the other SBIR, SCTR application processes. Again, the critical difference being that you have to have two mentors, entrepreneurial mentor and a business mentor.
Got it. So the solicitation is currently open. Are there any important upcoming deadlines, and where can listeners find out more?
Yeah, so the solicitation, the notice of funding opportunity is being released. The deadline for the application is August 21. A letter of intent would help so that we have a good idea of how many applications we're getting. The deadline for that is July 21st. And like I said before, applicants can definitely reach out to me if they have any questions, if they want to discuss their specific aims page, and if they want any other clarifying questions, I'm happy to talk.
Saroj, thank you so much for joining Innovation Lab. It's been a pleasure. And thanks for educating us on Small Business Transition Grant.
Thank you very much, Billy. It's a pleasure.
As always, don't forget to check our website, sbir.cancer.gov, for the latest funding opportunities and commercialization resources to support your journey from lab to market. This was Billy Bozza from NCI SBIR. Please join us again for the next installment of NCI SBIR Innovation Lab, and subscribe today wherever you listen. If you have questions about cancer or comments about this podcast, email us at nciinfo@nih.gov or call us at 800-422-6237. And please be sure to mention Innovation Lab in your query. We are a production of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, National Institutes of Health, National Cancer Institute. Thanks for listening.